Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
And I want to thank my good friend Ken Campbell, who I've known for many years. He did sort of get me in this mess many years ago, but I thank him for it, and I love him like a brother. I also want to thank Bridget for making sure that everyone spoke for several hours, and she fed people and then had me come up and speak. So I thank you, Bridget. So if people start dozing off, I'm going to look at you.
I'll wait for mine.
Thank you. And then the entire BAEO team is here, and then our Louisiana team in the back. They've heard me speak so much that they just said, hey, you know, we're going to let him do his thing, and we're going to go in the back. Let's give a hand to everyone who helped make this possible. And Chaz, I enjoyed hearing you, and as always, I appreciate your passion, the passion of all the previous panelists. This is what I'd like to do. I was going to get a little more granular, but because you've had so much of a granular discussion, I'll touch on some things specifically in Louisiana. But I really want to ask you to join me in just stepping back for a minute. You know, step away from your politics of choice. Step away from your own parochial interests. Step away from your specific education reform measures, those things that you support. I need you all to open up your minds and indeed your hearts to some of the things that I'm about to say. Some of you have heard me speak, and I do get a little riled up at times, and I'm kind of in a feisty mood, so I may upset some of you. So I will apologize in advance. Well, I'll somewhat apologize. First, let me go with the starting point here. I want to talk about where we are in terms of education, not just in this great state, but indeed around the country, and talk about some of the solutions. But then I want to excite your sensitivities to how we move the ball forward beyond where we are now. It's instructive to me that when I come to gatherings like this, oftentimes we see some of the same people. And I want to deal with that issue because I think that is front and center why you heard Ken talk about the need that we feel strongly about in BAEO for us to broaden this discussion and to expand those in the tent. First, in terms of the state of education here in this country, some of you heard me say this, and it bears, I think, it's worth repeating. The starting point is that dating back to our founding fathers, particularly Thomas Jefferson, it was passionately believed that our democracy could not sustain itself without an educated population. That in order for a participatory government to work, the people had to be educated. That's the only way it would work, and we'll be able to resist the temptations of a monarchy or something that was wholly unsupported and in the best interest of people. As Lyndon Johnson said nearly 200 years later, freedom is fragile if the people are ignorant. And that mindset, frankly, still guides us today. An uneducated citizenry is more open to chaos, confusion, and manipulation by its government. Educated people are the barrier against those things. We've seen it in other countries around the world. Well, the problem is, in our country, our approach to educating our citizens has fallen way short of what it needs to be. Indeed, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't sugarcoat things. We are failing our kids, not just in Louisiana, but around the country. The statistics don't lie. In our country, barely half of the children of color, black and Hispanic, graduate from high school.